This is Data Center video number 9 for the New Jersey State Police. In this video, I will show you how to check and then submit the SRS report that we've been working on in other videos. I'm logged in as a contributor, and I'm in the Data Center. I've clicked on Working Items, and now I need to go ahead and click on the SRS report for the month of February 2017. So right here is the report identifier. I'm going to go click the blue arrow here, and that brings me to the SRS report page here that shows the different forms that we've filled out so far. So we've done everything from the Return A all the way through human trafficking. They've all been validated with the green check marks. If I had anything that needed to be updated at this point or changed, I could do that by clicking on the purple edit button to the right of the form, make the change, save it, and then be able to come back. If it's validated and everything looks good, I'll get a green check mark again. If there's an X, there's something I need to go back in and correct, and then save again, and hopefully have the green check mark after that. So once all of the check marks are here, I should be able to slide down to the next section, which is the Notes section here. And here I can put in any kind of information to the state administrator or state support, and they will be able to receive that information regarding my SRS report. I can click that note by clicking the green Save Note button here to the right, and then slide down. Now I should be able to submit the information, but in this case it won't let me because the button here is a lighter purple color than the one here to the left. So the Submit Data button needs to be a dark purple in order for me to submit. The reason it's a lighter color is because of these two bullets here, these messages. So these errors are telling me that an actual offense of manslaughter by negligence was reported on Return A. Corresponding SHR should be created to submit this summary report. And then the second bullet, the number of victims of negligent manslaughter offenses reported on the SHR should match the number of actual negligent manslaughter offenses reported on Return A. So it wants me to go ahead and ensure that the values match before I submit the SRS report. So what I want to do is go back up to the Return A that we've been working on and take an edit. I'm going to look at it, make sure that I agree with what the repository is telling me here. And if you remember, here under classification of offenses for number 1, we did show one murder and non-negligent homicide. That was the sister who killed the other sister, and we had that in an earlier video that we worked on. And now what this repository area was talking about is here under criminal homicide B, manslaughter by negligence. It shows that we had 2 offenses reported or known to the police, but one was considered unfounded. So therefore, the one that the repository is asking for more information on is this one right here, the number of actual offenses. So what we need to do is, since I didn't make any changes here, I'm just going to do the Return button. It's going to take me back, and then what I need to do is go into the Supplementary Homicide Report here and create another SHR. So now we are looking at the Homicide Reports grid that shows the incident number 1 for homicide 388 case number. This involved the sister who committed murder on her own sister, and we recorded that in an earlier video. So in this case we want to create a new homicide report. So let's go ahead and click on the green New Homicide Report button here. And this is so that we can create the homicide report for the manslaughter by negligence offense. So here it shows incident number 2, and I am getting error messages at the top, and that's basically because I have not filled in these fields below. So as I fill those in, you'll see the errors starting to go away. So let's go ahead and fill in the victim offender situation and click the down arrow. I'm going to go with A, single victim, single offender. The incident date was back in February, but not 2018. We want to make sure we're showing 2017. The 19th. Case number, I'm going to go ahead and call it a manslaughter case number, and I'm going to put it as 389. The date of the incident we already have in here. We have the victim offender situation. It's still throwing the error because I haven't filled in the information down below. So let's fill in here the type of homicide. And in this case, it's the B, manslaughter by negligence type of homicide. I'm going to put in a description here. And let's scroll down a little bit and start to fill in the information down here on the victim and offender. And just watch up here and see if this error message goes away as I fill it out. So the victim here is our first victim, and the age of the victim is 30. And if you notice, it's starting to throw errors because it wants me to fill in the rest of the information. Male, Black or African American, not Hispanic or Latino, and the name is Donald Simmons. And here the offender, the first offender, age 33, female, Asian, not Hispanic or Latino. The weapon used in this case is a 70, which is narcotics. Drugs include sleeping pill. The relationship of the victim to offender. We have all these choices here. Let's say employee. And circumstances. I'm going to go with the 59, all other manslaughter by negligence. If you can see that here. All other manslaughter by negligence except traffic deaths category. So everything here looks fine. If in fact there was another victim, I would show that number here as a 2 and then give in the information here. If the second victim was killed by the same offender, I would show a number 1 here and the same information here for that offender because it's the same offender. If in fact it involved another offender, you would put a number 2 here and put that offender's age, sex, race, and ethnicity here. So in this case though, as you can see up here, we have a single victim, single offender, so we're going to go ahead and just keep it as is here because we don't have any other victims or offenders. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Save Homicide button here, the green button at the bottom. If you can see down below, it's showing it's saving. And once it is saved, I should be able to go back and go to return. And as you can see here, we now have incident number 2, manslaughter 389 as the case number, the incident date, and then also the homicide type, which is manslaughter by negligence, the situation and description information that we just filled out. It gave me a valid check mark here. If I did have any edits, I could go ahead and edit, or if I needed to erase and start over again, I can click the Remove Homicide Incident information here. But to my knowledge, everything is looking fine. So I'm going to go ahead and click the purple Return button. If there were a third incident to report, I would click on New Homicide Report. In this case, I only have the 2, so I'm going to click Return. This takes us where we can see the SRS report for the month of February 2017, and as you'll note, all of the check marks here show that it's valid in terms of the forms. And if I did have something to change, I could go in and edit at this point, but it's looking okay to me. So I'm going to scroll down. There is a notes section here, so if I wanted to say something to the state administrator, I could type something in here and then click Save Note. So if I scroll down, you'll note that there's a Submit Data button here, and it's a solid purple Submit Data button. If there had been any issue with the submission, it would have given me a lighter color purple, and there would have been some description here, some error messages here. It's like a cross-validation to let me know that I need to go back in and check something out. It's looking like it accepts everything okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click Submit Data. And now that I've clicked the Submit Data button, the repository is taking all the data and it'll be pushing it Right here it says your SRS report has been pushed to the SRS database. It will no longer be available in the working database. So we can go down and take a look at it one more time. Again, it shows the return A. It breaks it down into the different sections here: monthly return of offenses known to police, the return A supplement, the LEOCA, the supplementary homicide reports, the ASR for adult as well as juvenile, arson, as well as human trafficking. So now I could edit the SRS report by clicking the green button if need be. In this case, I'm going to just go ahead and click the purple Return to Search button. This brings me back. It shows me all of the reports in the search. So for this particular one, I want to look at the year of submission, February 2017. The SRS report for February 2017 appears. So the repository has done its job in submitting the data that you've inputted. If you wish to see it again, all you need to do is click on the blue arrow. So this concludes the training videos for the New Jersey State Police involving the data center.